Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The final match of the Starladder Season 10 America Group Stage is here. Game 5 of the Grand Finals. EG had a one-game advantage coming into it, but no longer. It's all tied up 2 apiece. David Parker, it comes down to this one game. This is what it's all about right here. This is do or die.
Yeah, this is it. Definitely 6.82 having its impact, but it's great to see these underdog stories. A team like SNA potentially going to be upsetting EG. Starladder Season 10 could see some very unexpected teams at the LAN finals. Also over in SCA, it's looking like a team known as Execration could be upsetting Titan and going to the LAN finals over them. So this could be a season for changes, not just in America, but in some of these other regions as well.
Yeah, the timing of the patch making things interesting, and, well, still a lot of tricks to be pulled out of the sleeves here of both these drafters. Sneaky Nick's Assassins will go with a double support opener, Vengeful Spirit and Ancient Apparition, 2 heroes that worked very well for them in the last game. And they'll try their hand once more. EG, they start off with the Razor, a tried-and-true hero in 6.81. Still decently strong here, was tweaked a little bit. I think one of the bigger changes is Eye of the Storm no longer persisting through Aegis Death. So now, like everyone else, like your Death Prophet, the ult will be cleansed when he comes back to life. Also, Static Link does cost a little bit more mana, so you can't spam it out quite so easily at the early levels. Now it's 50 across the board instead of scaling starting at 20.
Yeah, I think the hero. I think for EG, it's like let's go back to our comfort zone. Even if this hero did receive some nerfs, he's still good. We can just play our 6.81 style. You obviously have to make some tweaks because of the rune changes and all that, but as far as mid game is concerned, you can do a fairly similar thing.
And Skyrath Mage picked up for EG now as their second hero. One that's actually been banned out, I think, every game this series. We have not seen him yet. He's fallen into the first or second ban on varying sides of the coin. So EG, they'll stick to what they know here.
10 seconds remaining.
Sorry, I'm back. I just had to go close my fridge. I heard it beeping at me, and I was like, oh shit, forgot to close my fridge.
Oh, good. Well,
didn't mean to abandon you, Zairi.
Crisis averted. Good thing. Oh boy. Oh boy.
You know, I was like, I could just leave it, but I'm like, no, that's not good for the environment. So
that's so kind of you, so green.
It's game 5, decider of Starladder America. I was like, man, I've got to run like a good 30 meters to close this fridge, but now we're back now. So, Skyrath Mage for the first time not banned out in the first ban stage will get picked by EG, which is still a very strong support.
10 seconds remaining.
Yes. Skyrath actually was not changed all that much. Concussive Shot is now disjointable, which is kind of a big one. It used to chase you down to the ends of the earth, and we definitely saw that make a difference a time or two. Now Concussive does scale a little bit. It used to be a consistent 40, and now it goes from 30 at level 1 to 45% at level 4. So even hard-pressed to say a nerf there. At the top end gives you a little bit of extra, and 30% is still a very significant slow. Yeah. The biggest nerf of them all, though, Mystic Flare, now is dealt the damage over 2.2 seconds instead of 2, so it's lower DPS and gives your opponents a little bit more time to react and theoretically take less damage.
Yeah. It's like 0.2 seconds, though. I don't know. I mean, maybe definitely, I mean, it's definite nerf. I'm wondering, like, just how much.
Well, Sneaky Nick's Assassins, they know what worked for him last game, and they just want to do it again. This is the beginning of a very similar draft here.
There is a Naga, though, which EG, not only just the Arteezy Naga Siren, sometimes they'll run like a support Naga Siren as well. Great answer to the Void Chronosphere. He chronos your team, you song, and sleep everyone. If Void could go BKB, so he's still dealing damage in a Chronosphere, but that's going to damage at him, so maybe he's killing one hero at most. And I like the Naga pick as a way of dealing with the Void here. And this may just be a support Naga Siren. Naga Skyrath, good support duo. But if they want to, they run the Arteezy, mid-Naga, put Fear on the Safe Lane Razor, and play that Rakdoda Radiance Naga Siren.
Either or kind of an option here. With the Razor, that is one they have a lot of flexibility with also. 2 Arteezy heroes picked up. So a little bit hard to read. SNA will take their time as they think about this 4th pick. They'll need an off-laner, and they'll need their mid. So, I don't know. What are you thinking here, Gods? What synergizes well with this draft? They won't be able to get their Centaur like last time.
I I mean, they've already got the AA, so I don't think they have to like stack heroes to synergize with the Void. Ember Spirit is not something I was
Evil
expecting to come out, that's for
geniuses,
sure,
turn to
but
pick.
a potential hero that can deal with some Naga Siren split push, and then like you TP back to stop the split push, and then you leave your Remnant there, and you can still take part in a team fight. So I think that's one of the reasons SNA picking him. I think it's a good kind of hero that suits Ush as well. Ush to me has so far been the MVP of this series. He's been playing some incredible Dota for the
Dire
next
team
Assassins.
ban.
Yeah, and there's your universe hero, the Elder Titan, heading for the off lane. And I guess safe to say no surprise there. Universe has been playing a lot of Elder Titan recently, and he's been playing it damn well. The few games that we've covered together where we've seen him on Elder Titan, it
10
has
seconds
generally
remaining.
resulted in a victory.
Yeah, it's the hero that seems to
5
suit
seconds
EG's playstyle
remaining.
and Universe especially. So last pick for SNA, they still need Mike's hero for the
Reserve
offlane,
time.
which I'd say Tide or Clockwork are the two
10
big ones.
seconds remaining.
If they want another initiator so Void doesn't have to start a fight, maybe they go for the
5
Clockwork.
seconds
Tide's just a bit
remaining.
more maybe tanky and durable, gives you a mech buyer as well, which they don't really have. So
Evil geniuses.
something like a
turn
Tide
to
Hunter
ban.
may be where SNA would head.
Yeah, I like that. Good setup as well for the Faceless Void, or kind of a way to initiate or counter-initiate after the Chronosphere has come out. Gives you that flexibility. Yeah, I think the
10
bigger problem is the
seconds
lack of
remaining.
mech carrier. They could also do something kind of interesting and look
5
to get a little bit of
seconds
farm on the
remaining.
Vengeful Spirit, but I don't really see an easy way for the lanes to settle down and make that a possibility.
Reserve time.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what EG ban out. Still have quite a few offlaners in the pool. Something like a Clockwork is one that IX Mike likes to run fairly regularly, though he
10
does not
seconds
synergize
remaining.
particularly well with the Faceless Void.
No,
5
not at all.
seconds remaining.
We saw last game though, SNA just happy to go Void AA and have all that, but
Dire
actually a
team
Viper
pick.
ban, so maybe thinking that Void could go offlane, although haven't seen Mike do much Void offlane. Not a hero that SNA normally put him on, but still a possibility. I mean, if it's what the draft calls for, it's what the draft calls for.
Mm-hmm. Well, bonus time expired just about for both sides, so we'll just have to be patient and see what they want to do. A little bit hard to predict on this patch. And
10
in this
seconds
game, there's sort of a
remaining.
mixture of you need to go with what you know. It's not the time to experiment, but
5
on that same
seconds
token,
remaining.
if you have a pocket strat, this is the time to pull it out and catch your opponent off guard.
Pull out the
Reserve
Legion
time.
offlane. It's time.
Well, all right. This
Okay.
Geniuses,
follows
turn
suit
to
with what
pick.
we're talking about. Sniper
All right.
synergizes with the Void.
Yeah, does suggest the Void. Does probably put Void to the offlane here. So, Sniper's headshot now causes a 0.5 second, 100% movement and attack speed slow.
Yeah, no more TP
Okay.
interrupting.
Okay, so instead of the
10
stuns, so no
seconds
more
remaining.
stuns.
Yeah.
I guess that's. I mean, I guess you
5
can TP
seconds
away from
remaining.
Sniper now, which is. I mean, you're not really often in situations where you're getting ganked by a Sniper and you're like, crap, I got to TP away. So he's not really a ganking hero. So I guess yeah, overall, Sniper does get some nice little buffs because of this.
Yeah. So, okay. Ush on the Sniper. He'll be the safe lane farmer. You're certainly right about Void headed to the off lane. That'll be in the hands of IX Mike. Radiant side, it will be a support Naga. Fear will take point on the Wraith King. That puts PPD on the Naga. They could swap when we get into the game. There's always that option, but core Wraith King, and it will be a Razor mid played by Arteezy.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are reacting to the other. Like I imagine, I don't know for sure, but SNA when they first pick Void, obviously they're thinking it could go either lane. But after last game, they're probably more leaning towards running as a carry. But then they see the Naga, they're like, okay, they got the Naga, they got Song of the Siren to deal with the Chronosphere. Let's run it
10
as a
seconds
support. Then EG are like, okay, you're gonna run an offlane Void because of the Sniper pick. We no longer we can now pick something like a Wraith King and like run him as a carry. So. It seems both teams just very reactionary with their picks, and
Prepare for battle.
I think we're in for a good game 5.
Yes, most definitely. That is the most important facet of this series here. Only one game to go, and this is it. All the cards are out on the table. Dire side, the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Michael had that off lane there. Ush will go mid on the Sniper, so switching things up once more, and what a cute little helmet that is. That's an interesting cosmetic he's got there. Safe lane try will be Whitebeard on the Venge, Fluff and Stuff on the Ancient Apparition, and TC will be on the safe lane farmer this time around, and it will be the Ember Spirit.
Okay, so Sniper's mid against Razor, which, yeah, I guess is a decent matchup. I don't think Sniper wins by any means, but he's not going to get crushed if he can sit back using the extra range from Take Aim. So, yeah, interesting
30
option from
seconds to
SNA
beat.
with their laning setup.
Yeah, Fear will continue on with the Wraith King. No swap coming out. Stout Shield Quelling Blade means he'll be racking up the farm, and PPD will be supporting on the Naga here. Yep, the Siren. So, I don't know. Do you like one draft over the other? How do you feel about the sniper pick here on 6.82 against this EG lineup?
battle begins.
I haven't actually seen this hero at all, like as far as how the new headshot works. So, I'm not sure. It's something like the laning stage, because in theory, like the attack speed slow, you could use it to make, if you're a harassing Razor, you could use it to make him miss last hits. So, I want to say it could be a kind of disruptive hero for RTZ to deal with in the mid lane, but it's something I feel like I don't even know for sure. The ganks are coming already, and this is a great way of dealing with RTZ in the mid lane.
Oh, and look at how aggressive he's being, looking for that static link. They'll connect with the stun. Out comes the Frostfinger buff, and that'll be a first blood drawn. It's Whitebeard that gets the bonus gold on the Vengeful Spirit, but RTZ already off to a rough start. Will be forced to spend that early gold on a TP to get back to lane.
Okay, so that was... I'm going to slow him down a little bit here. I guess, yeah, just 100 gold TPs, but the support's already making their intentions to roam clear. Whitebeard falls back, goes for a stack. Ancient Apparition goes top to help zone out Universe a little bit, so good start for SNA to get their sniper off to a good start move.
Yeah, definitely. Now on the bottom, Mike could find himself in a sticky situation. Will be just kind of playing around in the fog and does live through the initial onslaught and still has a time walk available. So just trying to leech experience, still halfway through level 1. And Universe, he's at least found his level 2 going 0-1-1 out of the gate. And we'll see what build he goes for. The Elder Titan match we saw earlier in this series, he actually didn't go for that early point in Echo Stop as we saw in days prior in 6.81. So still some versatility available in that build. Mid Arteezy just harassing with the static link, but just not as efficient as it used to be. He will still level it up primarily. And once you max it out, the mana cost is no different. So he'll do what he can in terms of last hits. Sniper 3-0 against the 7-6 Razor. So Ush is struggling in the farm department.
Even with the first blood, this is still a lane that so far Arteezy's having a good time on. The headshot, I haven't really seen how the procs don't seem to be bothering Arteezy at all. I don't even know if he's really been harassing him that much, but it will be a shrapnel-focused build from Ush. Already 2 points in it, so he's going to be going bottle, and with the guaranteed rune at both sides every game, you can see a lot of shrapnel spam onto the tower, and he can just slowly chip away at this tower, and there's not much Arteezy can do to prevent it, because you can cast that shrapnel from so far away. It's got a ridiculous cast range.
Yeah, you can basically hit the tower from your high ground, almost. That just goes to show how safe you can be with it. I guess we've talked about a lot of heroes that are generally buffed up with the, now in context of always having a rune to put inside of the bottle, less rotations from supports. So we'll see how this works out from the sort of more standard sniper build that's taken rise now with the headshot, take aim early on. Not working out so well for Ush out of the gate, but only time will tell if this will be a worthy exchange. Still 4-0 against now the 13-9 Razor. The other issue here is denies make a bigger difference now. So these 12 denies from Arteezy will really start to add up.
Yeah, he's about half a level ahead, and that's with him missing some experience after giving up the first blood. So
yeah,
he's doing really well with these denies. I don't think they were expecting Sniper to necessarily win the CS but on mid. I think they just wanted to get him the early levels to max shrapnel and be able to push down towers, but they definitely didn't want him to be losing this mid lane as badly as he is. He still has not got his bottle at 3.5 minutes in, so this is really costly because you need at least by the around 3.5 is okay because you can start getting runes at 4 minutes in. But he's had no ability to spam shrapnel. He can't use it on creep waves, can't use it on the tower because he's already out of mana. So this slow bottle for Ush is actually a really big deal. I don't think it's like, oh, he's getting crushed by Raze. Like, getting outfarmed by Raze is one thing, but getting outfarmed this badly is really hurting SNA.
Yeah, he'll finally find enough gold to pick up the bottle. It'll be coming out on the courier now as he's scooting forward. But as you pointed out, the damage has kind of been done. Looking at the other lanes, 4-minute rune comes out. Zai will grab a double damage on the Skywrath, and Vengeful Spirit is the one to grab the bounty rune at the top position. So now Zai will come down right onto IX Mike, and will do a lot of damage. Mike takes a silence to the face, and is this going to be a kill? Arcane Bolt flies through. He uses the salve and will scoot to safety, but it's a damn close call.
Yeah, that was too close for comfort for Mike, perhaps. And
Yeah.
he's forced to go back to base. Sniper's having a rough time mid, and Universe is doing A-OK top lane. He's level 4. He's keep securing runes for his team when he needs to, and yeah, he's going to be quite happy with how his offlane's going. So has gone for 2 points in the Echo Stomp. So we'll be seeing another Echo Stomp build at the Universe. I'm curious as to how he decides what build to go with again. Like I personally do not. I don't quite know what his reasoning is as far as this game getting Echo Stomp compared to the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe it's the nature of Faceless Void here. If someone gets caught in a chrono, you can put him to sleep. I don't know. Usually he's tended to level that up more when he feels like there's going to be pushing incoming and he just needs to buy time for his team, can test Roshans early on. And this is not really a great pushing lineup from the Sneaky Nyx Assassins, so yeah, we'll see if we can
that was
identify
the first time we saw him. It was like he was doing a really good job delaying pushes, but this game,
yeah.
Definitely, I think the value points in natural order, because it got buffed at like level 1 and level 2, so I think this build is still fine, but it's like last time around he went for the 0-3-3 build, so I haven't seen the hero enough to really, with the new changes, to know what would be the best build. Maybe Universe himself is just trying to figure it out as well, but in the Game 5 decider, maybe, I don't know if it's the time to be figuring stuff out, but any build you go in this hero is going to be effective. He's getting the levels, he's having an impact. Yeah,
now, Sniper is recovering a little bit, is now level 6, he's been bottle crowing and hasn't really done much damage at the tower. It seems more the shrapnels he's using are just in lane to try and secure last hits and be annoying on that front. We'll find the 6-minute rune. It is an illusion at the top position. The bounty rune gets picked up by Skywrath this time around. But this is just still an awkward mid lane for Ush, where he hasn't really done significant damage to the tower and still getting grossly outfarmed by Arteezy. 34-23 versus the 17-0 Sniper. I mean, Arteezy's halfway through level 7. Ush is less than halfway through level 6.
Yeah, it's just a complete stomp in mid lane then. I think it's partly a mismatch, but I think also just the Sniper has to do well the first couple creep waves, which is where once he starts to fall behind, it just snowballs out of control, and that's exactly what happened here. I was talking up Ush and how well he's played this series, but tough matchup mid against Arteezy, and so far Arteezy's taken the most advantage out of that.
Yeah, now Fear has gone for a fast Handamitis on the Wraith King. Got it right shy of the 6-minute mark, was the first item he picked up, and now we'll move into a set of power treads. So he's farming very well. Ember Spirit in the top lane at a comparable amount of CS, but we'll just move into a slightly more mid-game oriented build. Phase Boots, 1,600 gold up already. We'll see where he goes from here, if it's rushed into a Battle Fury to try and find some farm to keep up with that of Fear, or if he moves into the kind of more standard mid-game Ember Spirit into some drums, maybe an Aquila, that kind of a build. EG will group up in the bottom and commence the initial pushing, though. It will be a 4-hero rotation. They'll go in on the IX Mike. He'll take the silence. They'll drop the hammer, and they'll bring him down. TC rotates through, Searing Chains on 2, but they just simply don't have the damage. PPD will be able to isolate Whitebeard. It'll be a 2-for-0 to get things started. Now TC gets silenced, and that'll make it a 3-for-0. And
we're safe lane free farming carry, TPs in and dies. That is...
yeah.
Massive kill there on TC. He TPs in, you're TPing your carry for a big turnaround. That's meant to be the surprise X factor to help hold the tower. Sure, they hold the tower. The tower's going down anyway, so they not only lose the tower, they lose TC. That is just a massive loss for SNA.
And they can't even burn the ultimate onto Fear. PPD does get taken out by Ush on the retreat. Thought he might be able to catch Fear. Zai will just TP out, as will Universe, and they'll feel pretty safe doing it. So, end of the day, 3-2 Evil Geniuses with a huge gold bump, now 3,000 in their favor, and about 2,200 experience, as Arteezy was just farming away that whole time. Still, Arteezy has as many denies as the Sniper does last hits. I think that paints the picture pretty clearly.
Yeah, TZ having a fantastic time. Just the Treads bottle Wraith Band for now, so not really committed to any item build one way or another. I like the drums build. I think Elder Titan's a good mech buyer, so I don't think Razor needs to go for the mech. Especially with the added mana cost. I don't think you want to go for a mech necessarily. I think it's still good in some games, so I think if you have someone else who can get it, it works out better. So I think drums maybe going to be a good item for a TZ to rush here, but we'll see.
Smoke.
Yeah, he's picked up a bracer, so.
Yep. Smoke from the EG supports. They're both level 5. Will rotate towards the mid, and they want to set up a kill on the Ush. And they should be pretty successful here. He'll try to TP out, but that will not happen. Our TZ will slap him with the whip, Indiana Jones style, and secure the kill. That'll make it 4-2 as Ush gets set further back. And has done some decent damage to this tier 1 tower now in the mid lane. But I feel like here at the 10-minute mark, if you're going to commit to this build and go all in on the shrapnel, you'd want this tower down a while ago so you can start moving around and start doing the same thing to other lanes.
Yeah, he got such a slow bottle and slow level 7 that he's been taking his time pushing down this tower. He can just like sit back, spam the shrapnel, but it also means he's not helping out the other lanes at this point. Like, we're going to bring down the tower as fast as possible so he can help out other lanes, and he's not really in a position to do so, but we'll probably just have to keep going back, maybe mid lane, and just get that tier 1 down with 2 more shrapnels and this tower will be dead. So the option is there just to sit back and spam shrapnel, but he's actually got some neutral stacks, which he's going to go for now.
Yeah, find some recovery using the shrapnel on that front. Actually, a triple stack here. 2 Wild Wings and a Centaur. Ooh, yeah, TC will dive onto Universe and finds a solo kill there. And that will secure his drum coming out. So, good news for TC.
Radiant's top
Had the help of the AI Ice Blast, and a nice little play there. He can just TP home, go back to his Fire Remnant that he's got at top lane, so he can keep having his farm without any downtime really whatsoever.
Yeah, the power of the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, though, Fear is just racking up the farm. Has power treads up, and he's got to have something on the courier at this point. No, he's just...
No, he's just picked up... Yeah, he picked up a wand. He went back for the magic wand and like picked up some smaller items, I think.
Yeah. Okay, still in good shape. Looking at net worth, he is number 1. 500 up on the Ember Spirit, and that gap should continue to grow as his Midas kicks in. And, of course, Ember Spirit feeling the benefits of that recent kill that he picked up all by himself in the top lane.
Almost certainly going to go for a Blink Dagger as well. Great for breaking the distance between Sniper, catching the Ember Spirit by surprise. When he gets his Blink, EG are going to be in a really strong position to start taking towers and just taking fights all across the map.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under
TC
attack.
still farming away up top. Universe kind of doing what he can to leech XP. We'll find his level 6 and going for a complete hybrid build here.
Dire's bottom
2-2-2.
tower is under attack.
Okay. A little bit of everything.
Yeah. I think it's the kind of hero you can kind of do that on. There's no obvious way to build, and even when you get your ultimate, when you get Earth Splitter, like some games maybe you could justify getting it level 6 and it could do a lot, but other games maybe you don't get it till like level 8, level 9, so you go for like the 0-4-4 and before you even get a point. So a lot of ways you can build this here.
Big smoke rotation from EG towards the top lane. It will be 4 heroes versus 3, but Sneaky Nick's assassins are quickly closing in and ready to contest. Mike has an ultimate, but very little damage to follow up. Fluff has found his level 6, so there is some potential to set up some kills here, but not if Mike gets initiated on. He'll take a silence. Mystic Flare, not enough for the kill, and now Zai taking a lot of damage, but PPD's there with the Song of the Siren. That'll allow Zai to TP out. Unless the Ice Blast connects, no, they'll be able to escape, and that will be the end of this exchange. And EG will be okay with it. It was a 4v5. They pulled a huge reaction out of SNA and created even more space for Fear just to continue racking up the farm and getting a lot closer to that Blink Dagger.
And SNA had good vision there with the lane water, though. But EG also had the observer ward behind the tower, but SNA knew what was coming their way exactly. So they were in a position to try and turn the fight around, use the Chronosphere, use the sniper levels to their advantage with the Ice Blast, and EG going to be happy that they just didn't give up any kills there.
Yeah, EG will press forward once more, recognizing that a few have TP'd out. They'll go on to Mike. The Plasma Field will just fall a little bit short, perhaps looking for an Echo Stomp to start it off. Will be unsuccessful, and the Spirit will just head right back into the belly of the Elder Titan. Still a 4-hero rotation from EG. TC takes the silence, and the follow-up, the little doves coming out. There's your Chrono from Mike. TC on the edge of it, trying to count his blessings, figure out how much damage he can do. Zai will get caught in the chains. That'll bring him down, but Echo Stomp right onto the Ancient Apparition. will secure the kill there. It's a 1-for-1, support for support. AA will actually buy back here and try to turn things around. Arteezy with the ultimate on will get caught inside of the Searing Chains. Plasma Field does a lot of damage to Whitebeard. Fear flies in. Ice Blast will come through. Will it be enough to bring down Arteezy? It will. And that will make it a 2-for-2 now. Ember Spirit goes down, as will the Razor.
Nice buyback from Fluff there on the Ancient Apparition. They're losing the Ember Spirit once again. TC, not a hero that SNA want to be losing at this stage of the game too frequently. Did buy his drums and has 900 gold on top of that, but...
Ush is in big trouble. Mystic Flare flies through as he's caught in the ensnare. And they will use the glyph to keep this tower safe. Now EG can secure a tower deny for the first kill of SNA. And that'll reset it in case he tries to push the mid lane. So more good news for the evil geniuses as they continue to find victories around the map.
Yeah, they're in a pretty solid position all in all right now. They've got the blink on the Wraith King on Fear, and he's doing his part to get involved when he needs to now. So level 2 reincarnation as well, and that's going to just be a big tool. Fear can get he's going to get a really fast level 16 this game as well. I just don't think they have a good way of dealing with Fear on the Wraith King. It's a good carry hero against the Void Chronosphere as well, because you've got to kill him twice. You can't just Chrono and take him out of the fight.
Yeah. Well, Zai gets picked off in the bottom lane, so another kill goes the way of Ember Spirit, and these little pick-offs are kind of keeping him at that high level of net worth, just between the 500 and 1,000 mark behind Fear, but not the most sustainable thing. If EG tighten up a little bit and stop conceding these kind of unnecessary deaths, Fear will find a huge farm boost, and already another 1,000 gold up on him following that Blink Dagger. Probably a Maelstrom into Mjolnir coming out next. Pretty reasonable build for the Wraith King. Could even consider something like a Blade Mail if he was so inclined. Tier 1 tower in the mid will get denied. That's back-to-back tower denies now, and just, God, limiting the effectiveness of this sniper so much. Meanwhile, in the top lane, jump onto Whitebeard. It will be Fear to start things off with the blink over the trees, and Zai's there with a follow-up Mystic Flare to secure the kill.
Yeah, EG just finding pickoffs and getting these tower denies. Part of the problem with the shrapnel damage on towers is that they're so gradual, you can either time the deny or it gets it into that deny range where EG can just time their defenses of these towers such that they get kills on you and then get a tower deny. And at this point, I mean, in past versions, tower denies would still be denied gold. We'll see a sleep come out, but not much happening apart from PPD just looking to retreat out of that.
Yeah, they do some decent damage to Arteezy. Tower goes down. TC connects with Searing Chains on 2, but Echo Stomp will be there. They'll put him to sleep. He'll get woken up, but doesn't matter as they've already been able to sound the retreat, and EG will take yet another good exchange. Furthering their gold lead now, about 4,000 gold, 3,000 experience. Fear will go for the Blade Mail as his next core item after the blink. So just going to tank up a little bit and be able to return some damage. Also just get some nice stats. Mid lane PPD will get assassinated. That'll finish off the Naga Siren. But just a small little pickup there for SNA.
Does get Ush up to his Yasha, which, I mean, he'll take any items he can get right now. Pretty standard sniper item. It benefits a lot from the attack speed, the movement speed, and just general mobility it gives him. But right now, EG's still looking really strong with this Wraith King Razor dual core, which are both very farm. Blade Mail is going to be the item of choice for Fear, and he's going to be very hard to deal with on the front lines.
Yeah, Searing Chains connect once more, but the fact that Fear hasn't died yet just sort of speaks to the amount of space he's had. I don't even think he's been forced to use a reincarnation.
No. He got really low once when it level 1 reincarnation, but he didn't even die then, so I don't think he's used... At the same time, like, not using reincarnation all game maybe also isn't a good thing. Like, reincarnation often turns into kills, so he's maybe almost, you could argue, being a bit too passive, but I think he's just been ignored, even when he's trying to go aggressive. And it's now like, let's not even bother killing him once. Let's just completely ignore him.
Yep. And Arteezy now probably going into a BKB, has that Ogre Club to go with his drums and power treads. Will find another bounty rune to fill up the bottle and top himself off. Now they'll just set their sights towards this Tier 1 mid. Of course, the glyph is available. It's pretty low already, and they will just see, kind of test the waters here with Fear in the front lines.
No blink for Fear. This urn change is...
yeah.
It's so annoying. It's I don't know if it's too strong or what. Fear will finally get the urn off him, and we'll go and Whitebeard. Whitebeard was not ready for that.
Yeah, Ice Blast comes in onto Arteezy. Mike's there with the Chrono, but he gets silenced. Earth Splitter comes in from Universe. That'll secure the kill on the Faceless Void. In comes that farm carry, sets up the kill onto the Razor, and also procs the reincarnation. Will Fear be able to find anything on his way up? It doesn't look like it. Blink Dagger in just a second here, but oh, it will get taken off. And now Fear needs to be a little bit careful. He'll get caught inside of a Searing Chains, and well, Sniper will help set up that kill. So EG do end up getting repelled. TC going in onto Zai. He does have a TP scroll, but Searing Chains are available. Will connect. Now Zai will try to TP home and won't be able to make it out. So it is SNA that come out ahead in that exchange. And you'll see that gold experience graph just dive in favor of the Dire.
Killing both core heroes there, the Razor and the Wraith King. And I think Fear, thinking he could just blink into insta-kill a support and he'd be okay. He had Blade Mail, he had Reincarnation, but it puts him and his team in a bad spot. And even when he respawns, he's just kind of in a tough spot to get out of there. So after that, you kill the Wraith. Well, they killed the Razor first with and then the Reincarnation proc, and then they can just focus their attention on killing Fear a second time. So good Chronosphere from IX Mike, and even though he doesn't have the damage, great damage output was coming from Ush throughout that fight. Just sitting back, using the headshot, using the extra range from Take Aim, and no one ever really even came close. No one touched Ush the entire fight.
So now Sniper will finish off the top tier 1, furthering some more gold for Sneaky Nick's Assassins. 3 towers dead on the side of EG, but that'll be the only one that wasn't denied. Now the Ember Spirit getting pretty big. Has himself a Battle Fury, and he's nipping at the heels of Fear as he contends for that #1 seat on net worth. Sniper also getting a lot out of that last fight, ending that handful of streaks there, and we'll find a completed Manta sitting in his bank at home. So Ush really starting to come online, and now TC not only is doing more damage as he's cleaving around, but his farm potential increased quite a bit.
Yeah, TC had a couple of really good fights there, and EG are going to have another go at this tier 1 mid tower. Did not go too well for him, and they have not got Reincarnation, so could be a little bit careful for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, Fear goes in onto Whitebeard, but IX Mike goes in on PPD and Zai. The Assassinate from Sniper secures the kill onto the Naga Siren, as well as the Skywrath Mage, and it will be
what are the supports doing in the front? Those are the 2 supports in the front lines. I don't know about the positioning there. Maybe trying to get off the Song of the Siren before the Chronosphere, but that is a big positioning snafu coming out of EG, not where they wanted Zai and PPD.
Yeah, and now Nick's Assassins will take the hero kill lead, and for the first time in this game, really take that net worth lead already, moving ahead in terms of experience. Sniper clearing up the creep wave here, showing off that new Manta style. This is starting to look a little bit rough for the Evil Geniuses. They're still not out of it, of course, and still have a lot of farm on Fear, but if this keeps up, SNA has found a lot of momentum that is something that EG can't scoff at.
Yeah, Ush on the Sniper, I think it's going to be a big problem this game now that he's caught up. Picks up an Ogre Club, so maybe going very defensive into a BKB, or it could go for a slightly more neutral item, which would be something like a Sanjin Yashin. I think Sanjin Yashin definitely not bad with the extra attack speed it gives you, but may just want to go safe and play BKB.
Yeah, BKB pretty good, especially with that Wraith King as he gets more farmed. Pretty safe to assume he'll be jumping on top of the Sniper with that gap closer, so going to hedge his bets, I think, and not give Fear those easy openers. But time will tell as everyone kind of sits back and slows down the momentum a little bit. Mike looking to finish off his Mask of Madness. We'll find it pretty quickly here. Fluff about halfway to his Aghanim Scepter. Great news for him. Always an item that has potential to turn the tides in a game. And Ember Spirit hasn't found anything since the Battle Fury except 1,500 gold sitting in his wallet. Now, there is some item progression on the side of EG Universe now with his Force Staff, and that is a fresh BKB out for Arteezy, sitting level 14 and has now 10 seconds of magic immunity ready for the next engagement.
Okay, there's still good physical damage. You get him in a Chronosphere, you've got Sniper, you've got Ember Spirit, Vengeful Spirits amplifying all your physical damage as well, even just with the 1 Vengeance or a point, 3 points in the Wave of Terror, which does pierce spell immunity, so you still get that little bit of damage, but more importantly, the minus armor from Wave of Terror on BKB targets. So I think Razor, even with a BKB, could still be fairly squishy in a team fight to the physical damage.
Yeah, definitely a good point there. Whitebeard's hero adding a lot of synergy to the lineup. Allison now headed up towards the top lane. EG will move into their Ancients, and both teams kind of feeling that leveled out, the level playing field, just looking for the other to make a mistake. SNA, okay, we're back in it, guys. After that rocky start, let's just farm up our core items, not do anything too silly. And EG kind of feeling the same way, like, all right, guys, we started to throw away that lead. We need to be more careful. What items do we need next? Let's just be patient wait for them to give us an opening. And with both teams given that mentality with so much on the line, it's turned into a bit of a mid-game farm fest here, Gods.
Yeah, I think for EG, they kind of have to play this way. They're not ready to fight into Chronosphere. Like, Song of the Siren doesn't act as a good counter-initiator to Chronosphere when it's the sniper sitting back doing the damage. He could be... if you don't catch the sniper in the Song of the Siren, it doesn't work. Your teammates are still slept, so... or still in the Chronosphere. Even if you do sleep the Void, Void's not the one necessarily dealing the big damage. So Sniper can just sit so far back that he kind of acts as a way of dealing with the Naga sleep, although we haven't even really seen us sleep in response to a Chronosphere.
Yeah, we saw it once up top just so they could TP out, but not really for the Chrono. And EG will now get aggressive as they smoke up through their jungle, head towards the bottom lane, look for an opening, and they will not find it unless TC waddles way back down that way. Looks like he will move into just a second Battle Fury. Has the Perseverance. So could always be a Linken's, but double Battle Fury seems a little more likely.
He's going to be ready with that Fire Remnant. Should someone like Fear try Blink stun him in the silence? Not going to be there from Zai. Went for the concussive shot, which had the longer range first, but quick reactions from TC.
Yep, definitely.
Dire's
So
bottom
EG
tower is
looking
under
for an
attack.
opening to get aggressive, but just can't quite find it. Fear still barely holding on to that seed as the leading farmer. He has now moved into his Maelstrom and has 1,100 gold to boot.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But still, it's looking pretty good for SNA as they continue farming. In this static farm fest, which team do you think benefits more from it?
I think slight advantage to SNA. They've got the just slightly superior team fight with the Chronosphere. So even if Void's not one of the heroes getting a lot of the farm, he's just going to go for like a fairly defensive item in the BKB to make sure he gets off a Chronosphere in a team fight. But if you give space for Mike to farm a BKB, you can't counter him in a team fight by using the Ancient Seal and silencing him up. So I think from SNA's point of view, they're getting the space to farm BKB on two core heroes, and that's a really big deal. So I definitely favor SNA right now, but EG definitely a team who maybe just looking to sit back and wait for their openings. They're kind of the more polished team overall, at least in general, so when they see a hero out of position or a mistake from SNA, they are going to look to capitalize on it.
Yeah, TC very close to his second Battle Fury, which will always make things more difficult in upcoming fights, but I think almost the more important factor here in this mid-game farm fest is the space for Fluff. He's now just one piece away from this Aghanim Scepter, and maybe I'm overstating it a little bit, but that upgrade is one of the best in terms of it's really strong, but it's often said, when does Ancient Apparition have a lot of space to farm it up? And in games like this, it allows him to really increase his impact by a big margin.
Yeah, I think it's a good item to have against a lot of these heroes. Not really BKB on TC's Razor, so there's not really a whole lot to block some of that damage coming out. And yeah, I think it's a big boost in damage to SNA. It's also a level 2 ultimate already, and you've got the setup of a Chronosphere. So I think SNA are going to be quite happy to sit back and farm. The BKBs, the Ag Scepter you mentioned, and EG's, they're going to have a Mjolnir on Fear maybe, but that's not really necessarily a game changer. Apart from that, like I don't think they've really got big game-changing items coming their way. Razor is working on the Aghanim Scepter, which is a nice little boost in his damage, but all in all, it doesn't really change the kind of tricky position that EG are in. They're in serious danger of not going to the Starladder Land Finals right now.
Yeah, and I mean, now that I might be thinking or wishing, man, if only this was a core Naga, then this passive farm game would really benefit us. We'd have some late game advantage, but I think almost more important for Fear than the Mjolnir is that level 16. Having the super short cooldown on Reincarnation is pretty big, and he will be the one of the higher levels in the game. Wow, not quite as high as I thought. I was thinking that Hand of Midas will be giving him an edge, but it is still actually the Ember Spirit who's holding on to the highest XP per minute, and the only one to be level 17. Okay,
so we'll be, I guess, Wraith King is 16, so he has got level 3 Reincarnation, which is a nice spell to have in a fight, and the lower cooldown will definitely help EG, because if SNA can't kill him twice fast enough, he will be able to have that second Reincarnation if the fight goes long enough.
Naga Illusions moving around. They'll scout out Ush, but no follow-up will be inbound. Instead, down bottom, they have their sights set on TC. He has revealed himself, but will they be able to jump to him is a whole nother question. He's got a Remnant down in the Roche Pit, and no, he'll be A-OK. Second Battle Fury about to be delivered. So big cleaves here available for TC.
Yeah, that's I like the 2 Battle Fury build. I think it's for a while it was always like 1 Battle Fury into Daedalus. He's going to get stunned and silenced. One of my DC's dead. He's not quick enough on the Fire Remnant out.
Yeah, so that's the jump potential right there. Pretty easy kill on the Ember Spirit. But for TC, he did just pick up his new item, and his loss is very minimal right there. Sure, EG get a little boost out of it, but nothing too earth-shattering there, to be perfectly
I feel like, I mean, we talked a bit about the teams trading farm favoring SNA, but if they're going to be trading farm mixed in with EG getting pickoffs on heroes like Ember Spirit, that's when EG are okay with the farm trade. If they can keep finding little pickoffs here and there. So for EG, it's like a small sigh of relief, because they don't want to be trading farm with SNA when they've got this Void, Ember Spirit, Sniper, Tricore, and then also an Acceptor now completed on flop. He just gets that flown out.
Yeah, it may be SNA that'll have the option to get a little more aggressive earlier on, especially once that BKB comes out onto Void. IX Mike halfway to the recipe. Now the Ags has been picked up on the Ancient Apparition, still sitting only level 11. But it might be in the advantage of SNA to try and get some wards down around the Roche Pit and just go for it. You know, have a go at it. I think they have the slightly better lineup in terms of fighting in the pit, but anytime you're against a Naga Siren with an ultimate available, it is a little bit scary and I guess a dice roll to some degree.
Yeah, I think it's just too much of, like you say, a dice roll. I think it's a risk they just don't want to take. You don't know what's going to happen with Song. You know Fear can just go blinking in because he's got the Reincarnation, and he can instantly take out an Ancient Apparition, Avenge, even the Ember Spirit if he gets the stun on the Ember Spirit before any sort of a Fire Remnant out. So it's very risky. If they can pull it off, it gives them a small gain, but the potential loss is maybe just too big.
Yeah. Well, past the 30-minute mark, we're well into the mid-game here, and more core items coming out. Just hitting the old F5 and taking a look at the tab. Mjolnir now complete on Fear. Universe and Zai just sitting on 4 stabs. Arteezy did just recently grab his Aghanim Scepter, like you mentioned. Ups his damage output a bit, lets them knock down towers, but not that much of a game changer in the grand scheme of things.
No. I think he's probably going to go for the item he's seeing a bit more recently on Razor, which is like a Shivers next, or either that or the AC, because I think he definitely needs some bonus armor against Void, Ember, and Sniper, and the Shivers Guard just acts as like a nice little slow and helps get you nice and close to your enemies to get full power from your Static Link as well as Eye of the Storm. So I like the Shivers build on Razor, which is started off as a very unconventional Razor item, but it's becoming more and more common.
Yeah. I think it would definitely work well here. Down bottom, Universe. Oh, Mike whiffs the Chrono.
Almost.
And now they'll just be forced to back out. Nothing they can do.
His first Chrono in like a good 15 minutes, and well, PGG did.
Uh-oh, he's hanging around though. Universe coming in with the Echo Stomp. Will just barely miss, but Fear blinks over the tree line, jumps on Mike, swap from Whitebeard to keep his friend alive, and it will result in a dead Vengeful Spirit, but the Void does live, and now his BKB is delivered. So after all that, SNA just lose their Venge. Like you said, this even farm does push things in favor of EG when they continue to find little pickoffs like that.
Yeah. Not a core hero, but still a pickoff, and also SNA weren't really farming. Like that was Void looking to initiate into a fight. So yeah, EG going to be pretty happy with that, even though they didn't get the Void. So EG may actually, yeah, they're going to go for this tier 2 bottom. No Void's got no Chronosphere for a little bit longer, and it gets flipped up. But
is this a Shatter?
Oh, it's a Shatter. It's an Ag Scepter. He's gone. He's done for. He buys his Ghost Scepter and he's dead.
Yep. So, tower does go down. It is Fear that gets the last hit on the Wraith King. So, all in all, I think it's still a good trade for EG. But nice setup from the Sniper Ultimate as well as the Ice Blast. And they will get a kill there. Now, another ward spot maybe worth mentioning here, this little plateau right here. Nice little cutie ward, gives you a huge amount of vision, and Dire just know exactly what's going on in the pit. This is the new ward spot, man.
It's an interesting ward. It sees the Ancients and like a bit near the secret shop, I guess. But so much of the vision it gives is like over trees, which I guess is not used that much. It helps if you're going for Roshan, because you know if someone's going to jump you from the right side over those trees with a blink initiation.
Yeah, it's also important to note that the trees now have a connecting path, so it does cover a lot of tree line, but there's a lot of juke spots in here that become kind of futile if you have the flying vision. So just a cute little spot, though, I suppose worth mentioning, given that we're in kind of a static farm fest. Pointing out new ward locations is at least semi-relevant, I suppose.
It's going to be interesting to see over the next weeks, months, and well, I mean, even the next 3 to 6 months, like all the new ward spots people come up with, and different little just tricks with the new map, or at least slightly altered map.
Yep. Smoke from EG, and now Fear has moved into the Skull Basher. So going for the Bash proc, and a bit of RNG there. Up top, Arteezy will get caught inside of Searing Chains. BKB comes out. Ush and TC in pretty deep as the wraparound is ready to commence. Whitebeard's here as well. Assassinate from Arteezy, but he's got the BKB on. TC will get silenced, caught inside of the Mystic Flare. Ice Blast will fly through, but they've already lost their Venge. Down goes the Sniper. They will force a Shatter onto the Skywrath Mage, but a 1 for 3. And EG take another really good team fight. Won't be enough to force out the Shatter from Arteezy, or will it? It'll be close.
No, Mike's nearby, and this is for SNA. They're just never fighting with their full force. EG are there in numbers, and SNA have a couple of their core heroes in the Ember Spirit and the Sniper, but they had no Chronosphere. They had no Mike. If they had him there as well, they can get some extra lockdown. They had the BKB to guarantee Chronospheres. Could have maybe kept TC alive on the Ember Spirit, and TC just got silenced up, burst down. He's got to farm a BKB. Without a BKB, he's just going to do nothing in these team fights against the Blink, Wraithfire Blast Initiations, and the Ancient Seal, the Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, he's pretty close. 500 gold towards the recipe, but not there quite yet. Meanwhile, Fear, he now has an Abyssal Blade following all of that gold he picked up off that last skirmish. Now 5,000 up on the leading Dire Farmers. And all of a sudden, Sneaky Nick's Assassins losing all that momentum they picked up. The Farm Fest has kind of come to an end as EG get another Tier 2 tower and further their gold now about 4,000 or 5,000 in their favor and take the experience edge once more. This Abyssal Blade on Fear is damn scary. You talked about the BKB on the Ember Spirit, but EG already has a tool to deal with it before it comes out.
Yeah, his farm has just suddenly gone ballistic right now. It does give you that slight worry. If he dies and does give SNA a big gold boost, it gives a bit of a problem, but hey, it's a Wraith King. He's got Reincarnation, and maybe having a hero with 2 lives frequently is a good hero to run as a core in the current patch with all these gold changes giving potential comebacks. So maybe seeing more Wraith King carries just to help reassure teams who are worried about that comeback potential.
Yeah. Well, Roche will be under assault by the Dire side. They will try to be sneaky, afraid of ward coverage, and there won't be any downs, but Universe, a nice heads-up play here, will scout it out with the Spirit, uses the Echo Stomp. It only puts Whitebeard to sleep. TC and Michael still continue going hard on Roche. It will go down. TC the one to grab the Aegis of the Immortal. Ice Blast flies through, will not connect on anyone from EG. And SNA find a little pick-me-up following that unfortunate team fight. And maybe it's enough to kind of cause sort of a break-even here at least. But no, just look, oh wow, the graphs have moved so much. EG with 7,500 gold, 5,000 experience all of a sudden.
So swingy this patch. Like you can one minute it's kind of close, then it just swings in one team's favor ridiculously fast, and then suddenly you have the potential for it to swing quickly back in SNA's favor. They've got an Aegis now, so the next team fight could be good for them. There is the Shivers guard I mentioned picked up on the Razor now, so that's going to help him out a lot. And Wraith King is still an absolute beast, but you put a BKB on TC now, he's got an Aegis. He's got a lot of damage potential in the team fight. Ush, he's had this Demon Edge for a long time, so his item progression is slowing down, but I imagine... No, he's going... Okay, he's got the MKB. It's coming out now, and that's going to help him out a lot as far as dishing out damage. Doesn't mean he has no buyback, but I think he's kind of stagnated with his item progression so much that he's not going to do enough in a team fight without just risking it and buying this big item.
Yep, agreed. Now, PPD moves into a Blink Dagger on the Naga Siren, so some additional initiation power for EG, and just can help him get in the right place at the right time to get those big songs off, as you mentioned. A great counter to the Chronosphere. If Void gets him trapped in, can help reset things a little bit. So, back to farming we go. EG pretty happy with their momentum, and now feeling a little bit more confident that SNA might just be the ones to make the misstep before they will. And, yeah, they'll just continue farming up on Fear. He has another 3,100 gold up. Mid lane, Zai with an invisibility rune as TC presses forward. They won't be able to jump on him this time, and they may just be looking to wait it out until the Aegis expires.
I think for, yeah, there's EG, you've already been in this more like passive farm battle. No reason not to wait it out. Even if there's no real crucial items coming your way, like Razor's just going to be saving for buyback now. Wraith King's just could look to replace his Midas with something like an Assault Crest as his final big item, but I think EG are happy to sit back. I think the Blink on PPDs actually has the potential to be a team fight or game changer. Like being able to just blink forward with the sleep to make sure you catch someone like the Sniper and can easily reposition could be very influential in the team fight. Could see it do absolutely nothing, but could see it just single-handedly win EG a fight.
Yeah. Now, Nyx Assassins did smoke up towards the top lane, and meanwhile EG are just in the bottom lane looking to pressure towards the base. I don't think they actually want to commit to a high ground push, but maybe just shove in some illusions, force some TP reactions, and all in all, just keep sneaky Nyx Assassins from farming too efficiently. And Ush will be the one to TP back. They see his MKB, and well, that'll be the end of that little skirmish. Right back to farming we go. PPD showing off that Blink Dagger there. Zai just hanging on to the Ghost Scepter. Probably an Ethereal Blade will be upgraded eventually. But, yeah, still a little ways off the mark.
Yeah. Well, still the Aegis on TC's Ember Spirit. And I mean, for most, this game's going to reach a stage where, at least, unless it's like a really big item pickup, most teams are going to be saving buyback on their core heroes. Trying to just go for little pickoffs that they feel are safe, like use a Chronosphere with like a 5-man gank to get a single kill and then back off and wait for the next Chronosphere. So we could see this game still continue on for some time here. This is the decider. Winner of this is going to Kiev, and this is still anyone's game. I think EG with a slight edge. I mean, the numbers on the graph show them a 10k net worth lead, but it's much closer than that would suggest.
Yeah, especially with an Ember Spirit on a double Battle Fury, there's always potential there. If EG get caught clumped up a little bit too close, one bad chrono, there's potential for the sneaky Nyx Assassins just to go hard. And we're getting to that critical mass part where everyone is doing a lot of damage, and it's going to be more about initiation, positioning, than it will be just about raw farm. The longer the game goes on, the less of an importance that 10k gold gap really makes. Yeah. 5,000 gold now. Up on Fear, who's looking towards his next big late-game item.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just like, you look at the Vengeful Spirit, who's got a sub-4k net worth, so the core heroes are more or less kept up. Okay, no one's really that close to the Wraith King, but at some point, Wraith King, he's getting a lot of benefit from all these items, but whether it's a 5-slotted Wraith King or a 6-slotted Wraith King, you're either killing him or you're not killing him in a Chronosphere. It's not going to often be a big difference maker. And Assault Crest will definitely give him a nice little boost, which he can sell as Midas for, which I think we'll be seeing soon. Yeah, he picks up the full components, and we'll be getting that Assault Crest now. But does mean he has to be a little bit careful because he won't have buyback, and that's where he's been. It's careful Dota from both teams. I imagine Fear will farm buyback before EG go for any sort of an aggressive play. Even the Elder Titan gets rid of his buyback money to buy a Hex, so EG's late game is looking really scary with a Hex now.
Yeah, their item progression has just been on point. Dire side.
That's the answer to these BKBs too. The Hex, you get the Hex initiation before they BKB, you could get a kill to start the fight off.
Yeah, certainly right. Void has not found any item progression following that BKB, but does have 2,800 gold, and there you go. That's what it'll be, the Maelstrom. So Mike moving into a little bit more of a carry Void as he has those initial core items, and every little bit of damage output will certainly help. Looking at just the general state of the buybacks, not too many available. Only 3 right now, as both teams investing a lot in items for the here and the now. TC picks up the Crystallis, so now he's got a crit. Down bottom, they're scouting out the Sniper. PPD will start it off with Song of the Siren, trying to make some space for his recruits to come on down. Sniper does have a TP scroll, but of course PPD has a way to interrupt it. Ush, will he be able to get off the BKB? No, it's a dead Sniper. He is one of the few with a buyback, but a big pickoff for EG, and a few more of those, and they'll just continue furthering their lead.
Well, late game Rune still making a difference there. The Invis Rune, PPD just sets that one up, and nicely played there. Even if he gets the BKB off, you still lock him down with the Ensnare, and Fear can easily just burst him down with the physical damage, so there was no escape for us there, and EG would love to force out his buyback. It is a pretty good time to do it because there's no Aegis up anymore on the Ember Spirit, so they definitely expect there to be buybacks on multiple heroes, with it being 40 plus minutes in the game, but they can take the tier 2 mid. They can try force those buybacks in a fairly safe way. It's just a little risky because they don't have the Song of the Siren, and we'll have to see how much they value that ultimate, and we'll see here and how much pressure they try and apply.
Yeah. Again, there's your E-Blade now out on the Skywrath, and buyback status, they've got one on Fear
Dire's
and
middle
one on
tower is
Arteezy,
under
so they'll
attack.
feel at least moderately safe here as they scout things out and sort of trying to bait a reaction out of the Sneaky Nyx Assassins. End of the day, we'll be okay with a pick on the basically position 1 sniper and getting that last outer tower. Gold lead now jumping in their favor another 2,000 or so, and they get another experience bump also. All right, back to farming we go as EG just continues to play it safe, but slowly furthering their lead with each successful kill.
Yeah, I think that's for EG. Even though they don't have the obvious scary late game lineup, it's some of these heroes are deceptively good. Elder Titan, one of those heroes with natural order late game. All these heroes, their base armor is completely gone. So Sniper is 15 base armor, gone with that on. Similar story for Void. Okay, only 9 armor, but this is just going to amplify all the damage EG are dealing. And late game, this Hex on the Elder Titan is a huge pickup as well. So I think EG's lineup with their item progression is kind of deceptively good late game, even though they're up against like a Void, a Sniper, and an Ember Spirit. 3 much scarier looking carry heroes. EG, in their own right, can do stuff in the late game.
Yeah. And you're right against
a
that.
refresher now on that Arteezy.
Ooh, this is where Razor really starts to hurt, and if EG have the opportunity to go to the high ground, they can just truck through these buildings with that double Eye of the Storm buff.
Double BKB as well is going to be a... He's still got a 9-second BKB! Holy shit! What's he been doing? He has not been fighting or using this BKB for anything. I mean, that really goes to show the state of this game. This was his first item after drums. He got this before the Ag Scepter, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. He's had this BKB for 25 minutes and used it once.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It certainly is. Roshan on his way back up now. This is second Rosh, 53 seconds left. And I think EG will want to contest it a little bit more heavily this time. Smoke from Sneaky Nyx Assassins, though. They want Rosh for themselves. They'll scout it out with the shrapnel, put a fire remnant down. EG being very cautious. Both sides have essentially no vision around this area of the map, except for the fire remnant that's hanging out in there. But both teams with scouting tools. Universe will once more use the Astral Spirit. And Rosh now 20 seconds away. Ice Blast will fly through to scout things out a little bit. And EG just trying to get in position. Both sides with all of their ultimates ready. This is going to be intense.
Yeah, I feel like this Roshan is more in EG's control. Like, it's up to SNA to make a decision whether they want to contest EG taking Roshan or not. They can play defensive, sit back, and just believe in their ability to defend the high ground, which I think is really good. At the same time, giving EG an Aegis and Cheese could be risky. Actually, it's just Aegis. This is only the second Rosh? This is only second Rosh, okay.
Yep, just second Rosh.
So just Aegis. I mean, I think Cheese at this point wouldn't be a crazy difference maker anyways. Wraith King is more or less 6-slotted, so Aegis is likely going to Arteezy, where if he drops his drums, maybe you even put it on Universe on the Elder Titan. I guess he'd be an okay choice. But yeah, for SNA, I think maybe you don't contest Roshan. If EG are there with 5, it could just be a bit too risky.
Yeah, on that same token, though, with this really small Rosh pit, that is kind of the bread and butter of this Ember Spirit with the double Battle Fury. So sort of scary on both sides. I think the Song of the Siren is that ultimate trump card, though.
Ember's just, like, his double Battle Fury's, it's starting to fall off, it feels a little bit, until he gets the Daedalus will make a big difference, though, and that's coming soon.
Yeah, may want to pull for buyback before he finishes it up, but he's just about there. Now, an interesting item onto Fear. He'll go for a Refresher Orb on the Wraith King.
He's going the manly Wraith King build. Well, the manliest Skeleton King build in the world, for those of you who remember that from Dota 1. This is... Oh, man. I like the Refresher build. This is going to be so hard. I mean, kill him once. Okay. Kill him twice. Yeah, maybe. You've got to kill him a third time now. And, oh, man. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, I certainly think so. He's almost level 25, so he's pretty big just in general. But here you go. Daedalus picked up onto TC's Ember Spirit. He'll have no buyback. Sniper will be moving into the Butterfly. And just barely has buyback gold right now. Fear moves into the Roshan pit. He will start doing some chip damage. And, he gets bashed. There's Shrapnel here to scout it out for the Dire side. But EG, they have the advantage because they can do this with Fear.
You don't have to worry about the double Battle Fury Sleight of Fist because Fierce just in there by himself.
Yeah.
You're only cleaving off Roche.
And they can also just use the Song of the Siren when Roche gets really low, just to try to secure it, zone out anyone coming in for an Aegis snatch. Smoke has been used by SNA, and they will try to make a jump right here, but they're all spread out. They'll have to time this perfectly. PPD comes in, Song of the Siren is used, off on the backside. Mike will isolate Universe. Arteezy's the one to pick up the Aegis as Roche goes down to the Radiant side. Universe first to fall, but now the Void goes down shortly after. Skywrath on the high ground goes down. It's a theory of mutual destruction as both sides laying into each other. Oh, there's the Abyssal right out onto the Sniper, and it's EG that will come out ahead. The only buyback to be used is on Universe. And now off to the backside, Fluff and Stuff will be completely isolated. The only survivor is the Ember Spirit, and EG only lose 2. That might have been the fight to end the game.
Luckily, it's the heroes dying on SNA's team who have buyback. Ush as well as Mike both have buyback. Ember Spirit does not, so he can defend the high ground with his Daedalus double Battle Fury and have the buyback support from the Sniper. Fury popped his refresher as well, so 25 seconds until he's got Reincarnation. He didn't actually refresh his ultimate, he refreshed his Blink and Abyssal Blade, which actually worked out pretty nicely in that fight. So I'm okay with how he used it there. It wasn't actually after having the triple lives.
Yeah, and Arteezy did not have to drop his Aegis there. He used his refresher as well. They'll force a buyback out of the Ancient Apparition, and with that, EG will just back it on up. No need to go to the high ground quite yet. 14,000 gold, 15,000 experience in their favor, and they will take a victorious exchange around the Roche pit.
I tell you what, SNA are making EG work hard for this victory. I mean, EG, the heavy America's favorites in the Starladder region, but this has been quite a series.
Yeah, it certainly has. And I'm actually kind of curious. I'm going to pull up the bets real quick. I'm curious what the numbers are on Dota 2 Lounge. 91% in favor of EG.
Yeah. With a 1-0 advantage, I mean, I would agree with those odds. And look, those odds were probably accurate. If I saw those odds 90 to 10%, I would probably say, yeah, okay, I would probably still be betting on EG even with the low payout because they, in theory, are at least like, I guess the one X factor is the new patch, but I don't think you can attribute this game and its result entirely to the new patch. SNA have just been playing some great Dota.
Yeah, I don't think so either. The real question, though, is what does EG do with Fear at this point? I mean, sure, he can move into BOTs, dump the power treads, that's something, but he has 5,000 gold, and he is very six-slotted right now. These are all great late-game items. Is there anything he can do here to not be completely capped out? Is this where you start building up that wardrobe on the courier, get yourself a Necro book, and just toggle off that refresher when it's stuck on cooldown?
I mean, you could theoretically replace the refresher and have that on the courier and get like another damage item, a butterfly if you want some evasion. Like, I think butterfly is actually not a bad option, but I don't think he's going to get that. I think, yeah, obviously you've got the money, you may as well try play that courier 7th item style of play. And I think he needs the blink dagger. It's the gap closer. Like that's been winning EG fights. He's got to hold on to that. And
needs
we saw last fight the refresher did a lot. So
yeah. Maelstrom, you kind of need the attack speed. Everything that he has is just a core component. Speaking of Butterfly, though, Sniper will be the one to complete his. And they may be looking towards MKBs to cut through this evasion, where Sniper is now at this critical mass kind of ultimate late-game carry. This is still very scary. EG are not out of dodge yet.
You look at Fear Melt.
And that will be a reincarnation. The Sniper just laying into him here. He'll come right back up. IX Mike is there with the chrono. This could be big. Fear will fall. He's got a buyback at the ready.
He's going to refresh. Oh, he gets it off.
Just in the nick of time. Arteezy in the front lines taking some pretty heavy damage. And that will be his second reincarnation. EG still have all 5 alive, but boy, was that one a close call.
Yeah, I thought they were going to kill him a second time. Like, okay, like you say, he did sell a buyback. EG weren't going to lose the game off of it, but forcing a buyback on Fear, killing him off there, that's a big kill. Not just in terms of strategy, but at this point, he's got so much net worth, that would have actually given SNA a big chunk of money, and that's money they need because they've got buybacks, no buybacks. Like, Sniper bought this Butterfly, he's playing it risky right now. He's going into these fights with no protection and no kind of backup plan should he get focused down.
Yeah, you're certainly right. And SNA are just turtled up inside of their base right now, looking for the opening, and they just have such great turtle heroes. Every single one of them, except for the Vengeful Spirit, really specializes in tower defense. Sniper with that super long range, the cleave from the Ember Spirit, your Ice Blast from this Ancient Apparition, who's soon to be level 16. And then, of course, your Chronosphere Void. Good luck breaking the high ground against this. We're 53 minutes in, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Third Roche may be the catalyst that forces another fight, but we're getting to that stage where the Aegis and the Cheese are only so important when most players here are looking towards the 6th slot.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this game goes from here. TC could get a Rapier potentially, replace his drums, go for that big late game potential. Ush, he still has an item slot. He's still holding on to a TP scroll, so sure, he's kind of reaching that cap, but I think Sniper's one of those series, you put something like a Daedalus on top of this guy, or another big item, whatever it may be, he actually gets really scary.
I like the Daedalus here. That's the kind of core piece he's missing. Plenty of attack speed, decent amount of damage. The crit is that final nail in the coffin where he's just going to be absurd.
I think Daedalus is the way to go for Sniper. For TC, it's the Rapier on the Ember Spirit. If he feels he needs more damage, he may say, "Look, I'm doing enough damage. I can just hold on to buyback, play it safer." But I think to break through EG, they may need that next big item. Could go for the double Daedalus. That's the kind of safer option for TC. But I like the Rapier.
Yeah, luckily they have enough, like with the Void, Chronosphere, and Sniper doing the damage. TC has that luxury of being able to go with the Rapier and kind of sitting back a little bit and then just waiting for that opening to start spamming the Sleight of Fist. He's not their core front liner. It's really IX Mike. So of all the games to have to get a Rapier on the Ember Spirit, this is not the riskiest of them all I've seen.
I don't know who wins this game at this point. EG are the ones constantly pushing out the lanes and who seem to be in better control. And they take one good fight and win it convincingly. With all these, like some of these heroes not having buyback, they win the game. But SNA have been playing refined enough Dota and not allowing that whatsoever. So EG have all this money, like 7.5k gold on RTC. But sure, he can buy a big item off of this, but it's not going to be necessarily a difference maker of items. And like, I don't know. EG are just struggling to be able to close out this game. They've got to try and hope that they're kind of hoping for SNA to misstep out of their base, but SNA just aren't making that misplay.
Yeah, I mean, they keep finding little stray pickoffs on supports. Now the Ancient Apparition goes down, but again, it's just not a huge game changer. Maybe they can press forward here and force out a buyback, and that's steps in the right direction. But oh no, Ancient Apparition doesn't have it. He just bought his Ghost Scepter. Oh no!
It is a support, but this is a pretty important support as far as fights go.
This is pretty bad, actually. I thought he had a buyback for sure, but no, that Ghost Scepter came out, and now SNA need to make this hold. They have a glyph. PPD starts it off. Song on 4. He'll just isolate him off by the side while they go for the base. Glyph is used, and the Tier 3 tower will stay standing. Earth Splitter flies through. Doesn't do a hell of a lot of damage. Tier 3 tower in the top lane goes down. Now Mike is here with the Chrono. Connects on 2, but Fear, he's in the front line of it. There's his first reincarnation. Has the refresher available. The stomp on 2. Ush has no BKB. Mystic Flare comes in. The swap will keep him alive. And it's still EG coming out ahead. Vengeful Spirit goes down. Will buy back. Ush goes down. And does he have the buyback? Yes, he does. He'll burn it right away. But now TC, he gets stunned up from the Abyssal. And EG may have found the opening that they needed to get one step closer to Kiev. A lot of buybacks from the Sneaky Nyx Assassins to make this hold. And they still lose the top lane of Barracks.
Oh, great sleep there. PPD sleeping over in mid lane. Arteezy went top lane with the refresher Eye of the Storm, tore apart the tower. And Mike shows up. He's like, okay, I can Chronosphere him. Tried to walk forward and then quickly gets dropped down to half HP instantly from the double Eye of the Storm. He could not fight into that. And, well, EG get their first lane of Raxes. One lane of Rax by no means a killing blow at this stage of the game, but it gives EG ideas and the confidence that they can break through the SNA defense, that they can just try and do what they just did once again and get another lane of Rax and bit by bit get closer and closer to sealing this game.
Yeah, now Arteezy has the Heart of Tarrasque and still 5,000 gold to spare. He is so rich right now. Shame that you can't buy a new BKB. But Fear will get caught in the mid. Refresher's been used, and that will force out the reincarnation. He's coming right back up, and where do they go from here? Universe coming in. Echo Stomp at the ready. Fear gets force stabbed forward, taking a lot of damage. TC might be able to find a kill. Mike with the Chrono just on Arteezy. Goes to focus Zai. They will bring down Fear. He does have a buyback available. Burns it straight away. Now Universe gets brought down. Zai around the backside with the Mystic Flare on Ush. Buybacks are not an option for the Dire side. They need to be very careful here. PPD with the ultimate online will isolate Ush, and they'll be happy just to get the sniper. They know his buyback's on cooldown. The swap won't be enough to keep him alive as Arteezy's there, and it'll also cost them their Vengeful Spirit. That's 2 heroes dead without buyback. And now EG looking towards the base. No glyph available, and it's a 4v3 on the field.
Second Daedalus is en route from the courier for TC. This has got to get some big crits if they want to hold this, but it's going to be tough. Eye of the Storm's up in 15 seconds, and I think EG are going for the Mega Creep.
Oh, Mike gets caught. He has no chrono available here. Mid lane of Rax will fall. He'll use a refresher. That'll bring up his chrono. But can he find the opening? He uses his BKB to no avail. The mid lane of Rax taking a lot of damage. We'll just throw it onto Fear, who does have a reincarnation. Even if they can bring him down once, they'll have to do it twice. Lane creeps from the top lane, pressing forward. Mike caught inside of the Mystic Flare, and it'll bring him down. Tier 4 towers now taking damage. Fluff and Stuff gets stunned up. Down he goes. TC, the last defender. There's your buyback from Fluff. But EG keep them completely repelled. Fear goes straight for the Tier 4 towers. Arteezy with just a single ultimate refresher coming up in a few seconds. Ice Blast to fly through, but TC, he gets stunned up, and that'll be the finishing blow to take out the Sneaky Nyx Assassins nearly 60 minutes into this Game 5. EG will bring down the throne.
That was very close. Not convincing from EG, but by no poor play of their own. Great play coming out of SNA. They really gave us a fantastic finals here, and well, from start to finish, this game was a nail-biter for both teams. Really great way to end the America region.
Yeah, Sneaky Nyx Assassins living up to their reputation. The team that has not been able to beat EG when it matters, but boy, can they give a showing, consistently putting up good plays and back-and-forth matches. Just wow, what a series. EG starting one game up, it goes to Game 5, and they just barely pull it out. Great itemization, and ultimately just slick plays from PPD, setting up the beginning of the end with that huge sleep while Arteezy just went to work on the top lane. And, well, that'll do it, gods. It'll be Evil Geniuses from the America Division heading to Kiev for the Starladder Season 10 LAN Finals.
Yeah, that is a first team that we know 100% for sure that's going. There's a few teams very close in Europe with Tinker and Team Secret doing well, but be sure to tune in tonight. We'll find out who the SEA team is going to be, but EG for
China's
now,
done, right? Isn't it Newbie from China that's
Oh, yeah. What am I talking about? China's done. Okay, apart from China. So this is our first non-Chinese team that's known for who's going. And yeah, Newbie and Vici will be representing China, and EG will join them now.
Yeah. All right, so like you said, SEA coming up tonight will be a good one, and there's potential for Execration, actually, to upset some stuff. So we're done for today. I'm Zayori. That guy's Gods. Give us both a follow on Twitter at ZayoriTV, at BTS Gods, and, of course, Appy on the Summit to stay up to date with all things Starladder. We're done, and we'll see you guys later for Starladder SEA.